Hey everyone, welcome to my Bonsai Oasis. That's right, I'm gonna be working on a project already today. Came up from work. I gotta do a little bit of construction, a little digging, a little pounding. It's gonna be pretty exciting. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but first, before I do this, I have to make sure I set up the water system for success. 2 or 3 more days of freezing. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna set up my automatic solar pump system to start on 5/2. That's May 2nd, that's Saturday. After the frost should be done, no more freezing up of the hoses. So we gotta do that first. Welcome to Bonsai Acres. Now, as the sun peeks through some clouds and it's heading down in the western sky, I've got some work to do here, and I've got a platform I'm building. But before I get to that trailer right there, it's sitting down here because I have a whole bunch of wood for the second fence. That's going to be built in a couple of weekends. But before I could put the wood in there, I had to transport trees for the Minnesota Bonsai Society. Well, first, back up 2 weeks or more ago, I had to get this thing prepared for all this moving and shaking. So, local recycling centers offer some free stain and paint. You can take up to 3 at a time. I picked up these 3, and this one was a nice brown color that got me all the way around this layer and the front almost half, and then I ran out. Now, this bucket, I think it's just petrified and pretty much worthless, and this one just needs a lot of mixing. It looks kind of green right now, but I think if I mix it up more, it'll be another brownish type color. Now we can finish the back half of the floor and the back door. The stain ended up being a nice green color and complements the brown walls very well. Next up on this trip was to water the trees. Now, until I have my automatic sprinkler system set up, I'm coming up to Bonsai Acres about every 3 days or so to water the trees that are in bonsai soil. These trees are mostly in larger pots or boxes, so they seem to retain some of their moisture long enough until I get up there again. Now, is the sprinkler system the best option? That's for another video. But it's all I've got for the moment because I can't be at Bonsai Acres all the time. And though I said in the beginning of the episode that we'd be probably done with freezing temperatures at night, yeah, not so much for northern Minnesota, maybe the metro where I live. As I'm editing this video, there will be 3 more nights just below freezing. Not much, but enough for me to start my sprinkler system to run only at 1 p.m. instead of 11 so things can thaw out. So there we have it, whole bunch of wood getting ready to make a fence here on the property. Fence number 2, got a little stack up plastic rack there. That's kind of bolted in a little bit with a couple of clamps over here. We'll fix that too. I got to figure out how to secure things into the wall where the actual kind of studs are, but I think they're metal studs. I think I have to get some metal screws. What a lifesaver. I'll be able to move all kinds of product from home up to here and from the lumber yards. And when I'm starting to build the cabin this year, this is going to be hauling a lot of wood. It's going to be worth every penny that we picked it up for last fall, late summer, early fall. And so I'm super excited about that. Now, not only that going on, I have to work on the pump. I've got to get water up here. We've had some good rain every 3 days or so, but the days are going to get warmer soon up here as well as the metro area. And so I got to have water for the trees that are in bonsai soil and bonsai pots. The ones in the ground I'm not worried about. I can go a week, maybe 2 without watering, but I got to fix that pump. Ready to try to get the water going, although I won't be here to test if it's going to actually run because, well, it's gray out right now, and it's about 5:30 in the p.m. Coming up after work again today, and I'm just not going to see the results today. but I have a solution for that. We'll get to it in a moment. Let's take a peek at what I did though right now. My power source comes from the shed. I've got the hub right here to speak to the rain point system, zones 1 and 2. I'm only going to hook up zone 1 right now, and that's going to go out of here and down over there. That's right. We're going to go down towards the first gated area. So the hose connects right there. This connects to the actual spigot from my solar pump. So the solar pump power is right there. The panel's ready to go with sunshine, and it's going to come in here, give it power. I've got the sieve open right now. This is open right now, but that only turns on based on my rain point timer. So in my rain point app, I've got plan number 1 and plan number 2 going off at 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock every single day. Plan number 1, it'll be starting at 11 o'clock and it'll be going for 1 full hour, and that's going to happen every single day. How am I going to be able to tell if this is working? Well, let's head down to the area where the trees are growing. So down here amongst the trees, I have the hose coming on down, wraps around, and there we go. We have the sprinkler system all set up. So at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning, while I'm actually out of state with a special occasion with my brother, this thing hopefully will go on. But how am I going to know it's going to go on? Now, the last time I was out here, I moved my security camera. Now my security camera is on top of the southeast corner of the fence line that holds all the trees. So it's going to have a view, something like that. And it's going to be able to tell me if the sprinkler is going back and forth and getting all this stuff good and wet. So now all I have to do is wait. So I'm heading out of town, and I'm going to be looking on my phone with the power of Bluetooth and Wi-Fi all set up. We'll see if all systems are go come Saturday morning. Exciting times, spring always is. I got another package in the mail. My order of trees from Cold Spring Farms in Michigan arrived with my tamaracks, or American larches. I won't put these into the ground up here until I have my new fence in, which will be just around the corner. So in the meantime, they go into this huge pot to keep them hydrated and in some very rich soil. With some final touch-ups to the trailer, and this trip came to an end. Rest assured, y'all, I did do a final check around the trailer before I left for home on the, main roads. I did not drive down the interstate with the stand down. Classic Whoopsie Weiss.
Back to just a few days ago now, it's time to put up some of that lumber that I hauled up in the newly stained trailer to use. The ramp bridge construction started. Boy, was it nice to get my hands busy again building something. After some digging and positioning of some paver gravel to give the bridge some stability, it was down to cutting lots of lumber and putting a lot of screws in. This will be so cool when there is water flowing underneath it. I used my AC 180 solar power generator from Blue Eddy to power up my saw for this project. Now, it powered up the saw pretty good for a little guy, but a few times when I got too overzealous with the saw blade, the power needs were just a little too great. So I had to really be patient with my chop saw with this freshly green-treated wood. But after just a few power surge interruptions, the AC 180 was rebooted and back working again.
We had a lot of rain on Monday, and so there's actually water in the pond, or the soon-to-be pond over there. The pond is only about maybe a quarter dug for the whole space I want, and it's going to release into the river down here that comes under this new deck that I just created. And the deck allows me to get over here into the first fenced-in area, and then back out to the wherever we have the four-wheeler spinning around here. And this is wide enough to back the trailer and the four-wheeler up, so if I have to carry heavy things, I can back it on up. I'll put a little bit of a ridge up here on either side. I'll get a 2x8 and stick it up so it sticks up about 4 to 6 inches, just so I won't go off the edge. I'll hit a bump before I go crazy over the edge of this thing. Not that it's that big of a fall, but for safety's sake. And so, I've always wanted, of course, one of those real fun, arched bridges, but for moving the four-wheeler with a trailer and in and out with trees, I just figured a nice platform would be good. And so now this side, 2x4s will go down to the doorway, kind of angle down, and then we'll put boards down that way. And this, of course, will angle down to the ground. It's almost a flat area here. I might build up the ground and just make it a nice level incline onto the top of the deck here. Won't be much dirt to put there. All the dirt I put around here, I can just shove right there. And then we'll put all the rocks we get from all the digging. We'll put rocks around the corners and the edges here. We'll put down some pond liner down here. And then when the water's here, what I anticipate having is this will be a flowing river, but I'll put a dam down here a little bit. And this is kind of almost like this will be always water until it, evaporates on a hot summer day when I'm gone for a couple of days. But I can turn the water on, fill this pond up, let the river go down. This will fill up while I'm here, and I'll have a waterway every time I'm here. And then it'll be a little dam over there. And then when the water runs, if I have a fountain someday, it'll just go over here and then go down an actual kind of a waterfall, if you will, down towards where I planted my weeping willows. So, slow but sure. There won't be flowing water in here probably this year per se. We'll do a couple of test runs to have fun. But we'll get some pond liner and go about, 20 to 30 feet from there to here. We can always add another layer just so that it flows this way and doesn't leak too bad. And even if it does leak a little bit, again, there's not going to be water in there permanently, so I don't really care. But while I'm here, I'll be able to use my free water from my well, from the solar power, to have a little creek on my property, which I cannot have land without a little bit of water. A little Shinrin Yoku to wrap up this trip up to Bonsai Acres. Progress is always a good thing. I'm really happy about that deck in front of the fence. We'll get the ramps built and it'll be put in use fairly quickly, I'm sure. Every spot here on Shinrin Yoku is quite stunning as the sun goes down. I tell you all, the worst part of a Shinrin Yoku on a night like this, on a work night no less, is that I have to go back home. The view from the future deck of the cabin, looking westward as the sun goes down on a beautiful spring evening. The view from up above by the fire pit. That platform will be good to go in and out of the old tree fenced in area. But you know what? I bet you 2 people could set up a chair there and work on some bonsai. My bonsai oasis, a little piece of paradise. I just can't get up here enough. Until soon. Welcome to Bonsai Acres. Very excited.